Hello everyone, my name is Willa Williams and I work for Missouri 4-H and I'm also the program manager for Ready in the Middle. So you've probably already read a little bit about Ready in the Middle and what the program's about. Basically, it's an introduction course to emergency preparedness. We do have another course called My PI, My Preparedness Initiative for teenagers, which is a little bit more involved. You get your certification, your Community Emergency Response Team certification. But for right now, what we want to do is we want to lead you through the home hazard hunt and also tell you a little bit more about the course. So this is how the course is set up in 4-H Online. First, thank you for being in 4-H Online. I know a lot of us have worked really hard to get a lot of content, a lot of the projects up on 4-H Online. And with this course, it's kind of a blended course where you'll do some of it online, and then we also will do our reflection activity all together. So let's go through this in different ways that you can participate. So all of this is up in 4-H Online, and there's 8 things that you need to do to complete the course. Now the things in bold are the things that I'm going to see. Everything else, I'm just trusting you that you are going through this. I mean, by the time we get to the course reflection and we all talk together about some surprising things you found out, maybe what were some difficult things, maybe some things didn't understand, or maybe it was really easy, or you're grateful that you did it, or you've already been doing it. I can kind of get a sense that you've done these things through the course reflection. But the things in bold are the things that I'm going to see. So the pre-survey and the post-survey. Now I don't know who they're coming from. You're going to get a code from the national program. Ready in the Middle is a national program. So you get a code to do the pre-survey and the post-survey. So what you'll do is you'll register with me. You've probably already done that. I'll give you a login and a password for Ready in the Middle's surveys, and there's a link in the 4-H Online course. So that's how you'll do the pre-survey and post-survey. And your login and password will be the same for the pre and post. And once you start into the course, you'll see there's a letter to the parents just explaining what this course is, even though you as a 4-H member are going to be the one that gets the certification. We want the whole family involved, because if you look where we're doing the home hazard hunt, we're in all parts of the house. We're in bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchen, and we might be looking in the laundry and our utilities, our HVAC, to see what's going on in our house. So in order to do that, we really need the parents or the adults in the family, other siblings, if they wanted to check out their own rooms, that sort of thing. So don't go into any rooms or anything unless you have permission. I know if I have older sister and older brother, they certainly wouldn't have wanted me to just barge into their room and say, I'm doing a home hazard hunt. So you have a checklist, and you can download that checklist and you just go check, 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 check. It'll be a pretty simple thing to do, to go and check off to see if there are any hazards. And to be honest, when you look through there might be some things that say, we could do this better. I never had a fire extinguisher until most recently, so that's kind of a bad thing on my part. But the more I learned about emergency preparedness, I wanted a fire extinguisher. So go through there. Don't feel bad if you can't check off everything, but know that this is for your safety, and it's the kind of a best practice to do. And just be aware that there are some safe things and maybe some unsafe things that we'll have to take care of in our home. So I've split the checklist. You can go through the checklist, and you don't have to watch all the videos if you don't want to. I'll just try to explain a little bit of the confusing things in the videos if I can, but you can just go through that checklist and do your home hazard hunt. And a family emergency communication plan. This is just like when we go to school and we have emergency plans, or we have fire drills or tornado drills. What's your plan in an emergency? I remember when a tornado swept through my mother's neighborhood, and I couldn't reach her, and I knew there were fires in the area as well, and flash flooding in the area. And I'm lucky that I had a good communication plan that I could reach her, and I could get to the place where they were taking everyone to shelter that night and help her out. So we had that communication in place and plan even before a disaster struck. So we're also going to give you a list of suggested items for your emergency supply kit. Don't think that in order to have an emergency supply kit, you have to go out and buy tons of stuff. In fact, with a lot of my 4-Hers, I just say, go to your home and do like a scavenger hunt. Do you have a flashlight? Do you have a pair of pliers? Do you have some trash bags? Maybe some paper towels. We know the importance of toilet paper most recently. So just a few things to put back. Maybe some water. I remember before any weather situation, my mother would always go and get washed out milk jugs or something and put water in there, not just for drinking, but if we needed to wash up or flush the toilet or anything, just in case water was shut off. So here's something that I need that just basically says, yes, I completed the home hazard hunt, and that's the statement of completion, questions, and signatures. And that's not just something I need. National says we have to have this too. So there's no need to turn in your home hazard hunt checklist, your communication plan, or your emergency supply kit, a picture of it or anything. Just complete that one-page thing that said, yes, we completed it. So, course reflection. I'm setting up a Zoom for 6 p.m. on Monday, January 25th. When you register, I'll give you the passcode to get into that Zoom. And you might say, I can't make it to that Zoom on Monday the 25th. That's okay. So we can always communicate by email, on the phone, or we're going to have Zoom set up in the future that you can go ahead and do this and you can participate in another Zoom. Just let me know. We want to make sure that you're going to get through this course. And like I said before, the Ready in the Middle post survey. So let's get into the course a little bit. I've kind of talked a little bit about this. This home hazard hunt is to protect ourselves. I've done it as well. We have to identify the existing hazards. There's probably some things you didn't really know about. And then anticipate the risks in and around the home. So if things maybe aren't safe, say that's something that we need to be aware of, lighted candles. I don't know how many times I've gone into places and I've seen a lit candle that someone has left behind. So I know for me personally, if I ever light a candle, I put it in a very obvious place in the home that I have to walk past. So I'm like, oh, that candle's still burning. But I see a lot of people light up a candle and put it on a shelf somewhere or somewhere out of the way, and they totally forget that it's burning and they leave. So, that's just ways that we can anticipate risk around the home. And also know that preparedness is dynamic in nature. That means it's always changing. So I know wintertime is wintertime right now. I make sure that I have a winter preparedness in my car. So if I'm ever stuck on the road, I've got a blanket, I've got flashlights, I've got some hand warmers, I've got some things that can take the snow and ice off of my windshield. Some people will carry around cat litter if they get stuck somewhere. So just be prepared for anything. If it's a rainy season or it's going to be hot out, make sure you pack some water. Always have some water in your car, because what if you're stuck and you need to get a drink? So it's not just your car, but also your home too. So, this is everyone's responsibility. This isn't just your parents to be prepared for an emergency. This is your responsibility too. So we all take responsibility and we all help each other out. So that's why we want everyone in the home to participate as well. So remember, I've talked about the home hazard hunt. That's what we're going to go through. And just because you've done the home hazard hunt, you've done your communication plan, you've done your emergency kit, and you've anticipated risks, doesn't mean that something still might not happen. But just know that it's, if we can be prepared for it, maybe we can say it won't happen in some instances, or you're not going to be hurt as bad. But emergencies and accidents, they're emergencies and accidents. They're not something that we put in place. But know that we want to be prepared just in case. So the bedrooms. We're going to start in the bedroom where you sleep. So that is your bedroom. And if you go through that checklist, you'll know there's some things that it's asking us, like our window blinds and cords tied with clothespins. I never thought about tying them with clothespins, but I adopted a little kitten recently. They love those window blind, those cords, and I'm always afraid they're going to get hurt. So imagine if you have infants or toddlers around too, make sure that they are all tied up. So that's just an example. Here's candles in the room. Here's what I was talking about earlier, a smoke alarm placement. I really worked with our fire chief when I was putting up new smoke alarms in my house, going, where do I need to place all of these smoke alarms? So you go through your bedroom, and if you have a baby nursery, you can say, okay, we're going to go into the nursery and check that out. And notice it has a checklist, a lot of things for the nursery. You know, we have to be really aware that little babies and toddlers might not always know what's a danger or what's a hazard. So we go through that checklist. If you don't have a nursery, I don't have a nursery, you can just skip that whole section. And then the parents' or adults' bedrooms. Remember, we need to have permission to go in there, and it's great to go in there with our parents or adults in the home and check for medication. A lot of times adults will have medication or coins, something that especially little kids or even pets can get sick by. Of course, the window blinds again. Now here's something to note, that we don't want this information. I don't want this information at all, but it's a part of safety of our home, is that if you do have firearms in your home, work with your parents to answer these questions. Remember, you're not turning this in to me at all. I don't need to know about this, but we do know that we want our firearms to be securely locked and out of the way of children's reach, just to make sure that we're all safe in our home. So if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Like I said, my name is Willa Williams, and I have my email address in this course. You can comment on if it was tough or hard or pretty easy, or I went through the whole home hazard hunt just in one afternoon. If you have any questions about things, just let me know as well. And I look forward to completing this journey with you. All right, guys, stay safe.